Hello everybody, Suffolk Andy here, in a little village called Holbrook, just outside Ipswich. A couple of things I want to bring up. One is the blog I done yesterday on jogging. When I got home, Mrs. P, she said, do you know the bloke who invented jogging died of a massive heart attack when he was jogging. He was out jogging and he had a massive heart attack. Apparently this guy, and his name, or his nickname, was Jim Fix. So everybody known him as Jim Fix, and he was out jogging and he had a massive heart attack and died. That's all I'm going to say on jogging. But yeah, that's true. Right, today, I thought I'm not going to sort of moan about anybody or take the mickey out of out of people that I have done in the last 2 or 3 blogs. I thought I'd talk about something a bit serious, really. Well, not serious, but getting on that way. And I thought, well, how many bikers are there in this actual country, in Britain? There must be thousands upon thousands upon thousands. I'd hate to think. The Cobdock Bike Show the other day, there was about 25,000 people there, just from this little area. And I thought, what representation do they get on TV? So I thought, right, let me think. What sort of biking programmes do we get on TV? Well, there was one on a couple of 3 months ago called The Bike Show. I ain't going to knock it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to knock things down. I did watch it. It wasn't my kettle of fish, but saying that, other people might have liked it. The guy who does it, he's quite entertaining, I suppose, in a dry way. And he bought old bikes, I think it was an old Triumph, and done it up from a rusty old frame to a magnificent sort of a looking motorbike. This part we're going to go through, if this freaking great van thing right in front of us, all this little pretty place here, is Holbrook Naval School. Now, years ago, this is where all the naval officers used to bring their children to be educated. It's not like that now, it's still called a naval school, but it's open to everybody. So that's the Holbrook Naval School. Anyway, going back to what I was on about. Yeah, I watched the programme, doing up old bikes and stuff, and yeah, it was okay. It was okay. And he'd done a track day and 1 or 2 other things, Yeah, fine. But I usually found myself asleep before the end of it. It just wasn't, sort of riveting enough for me. And, and I like all aspects of motorcycling. I like, racing is my first love, motorbike racing, and I like all sorts of bikes, So I found that a little bit boring, and I thought, well, if you think about it, something like Top Gear, which is for motor cars and stuff. Now, I have a bit of a problem with Top Gear, and I know a lot of people love the bloody programme, so don't think I'm knocking that one either, because I'm not. But it doesn't do anything for me that much. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons is I can't afford a friggin' Ferrari, and I can't afford a Maserati, and I can't afford most of the cars they have on there, Just can't afford them. They're not in my range. I don't dream about them because I can't have one. And they show these cars week after week, all these really high-powered cars, and most people couldn't even afford the friggin' hubcaps. So I'd be more happy if they show us sort of cars that people could sort of afford, and done more that way. I know you got to throw the fantasy cars in and the dream cars in, but it's all that, and that's not for me, I'm afraid. And I find it a little bit stage managed as well. Some of the things they do are quite funny. Like towing caravans around through bloody woods and whatever until they fall apart and they're just left with the wheels. That's quite funny, but You know, it's all stage managed. You know, if you or me done that, we'd be in front of the judge and we'd be in all sorts of trouble. And I know some of the roads, like when they're going over the Alps and places like that, I know it's stage managed. You couldn't drive a Maserati through the Alps at them speeds, up them roads. You kill yourself or you kill somebody else. So we all know it's all stage managed. We know the road's cut off, you know. So yeah, I'm not knocking it. It's fun, but it doesn't do anything for me. And going back to the motorbike thing, why don't we have a proper motorbike show? You know, something for everybody. I like, you know, like I said, I like racing. Let's have a section on motorbike racing on it. You know, if you look on the telly at the moment, yeah, you got the GP is on BBC Two. If they haven't got some sort of running race on, or they stick it on to 3 or even 4 if you're friggin' unlucky. You know, and I know they've lost it anyway this year. It's going to BT Sports. So, you know, if you haven't got BT Sports, you're going to be a bit sort of snookered there. And then you've got Eurosport. Now, Eurosport, I must admit, I do enjoy. It is brilliant. You know, they do BSB, World Superbikes, and MotoGP. I don't know, they don't do the actual race live on there, and I don't know what they'll be doing next year, if they're going to show it later after the races took part, which won't be too bad, because if you don't get on your phone and find out, you ain't going to know. So that will be handy. Yeah, they're brilliant, and the commentary team on there are superb. You know, the ex-riders. I'm not much for the little fat ginger bloke, but the rest of them, yeah, pretty damn good. Like it. You know, and I'll take that up on an afternoon and watch it. So let's go back to the programs for bikes, you know. Yeah, let's have a little bit of motorbike racing. Let's have a little bit of new releases on bikes, you know, a little bit of stuff from the manufacturers, you know. The stuff that, you know, us bikers all like, you know. If you go out to a meet, there's all different bikes there. You know, there's some bikes there, you know, that I wouldn't ever be able to afford, you know. Some new bikes at a horrific price. But majority of bikes are in sort of the pocket of the average man, where the average man cannot afford those cars on Top Gear. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. So these 30 mile an hour around these villages and out here just go on forever and ever. Well, too bad. I've seen worse than that. So I'm going to head back into Itchy's now, because I've got to meet somebody at 1. So let's have programs, or a program, just, you know, just for bikers. If you think about other minority people, and when I say this, don't get me wrong here at all, because I'm not picking on these or anything else, but if you think even deaf people have their own programs. The Welsh speaking people have their own programs. You know, minority people have their own programs. They might be late at night or something like that, but they do, you know. He got him within the white line there. So, you know, there's people out there who could do a good job on these sort of programs. You know, ordinary guys. We don't need to bring any sort of celebrities in or to do it. If they looked onto YouTube and found some of the top guys, you know, the bloggers out there who do blogging and whatever, there's some bloody good people out there who do a really good job. You know, I'll bring a couple to mind. I think the guy who does the Dale Boy Garage, he'd be fantastic. You know, he's technical, he's knowledgeable, he's mechanical, you know. And then you got the what's that his name, Nottingham Roadcraft. Seems a bit of a older chap, but you know, he's an advanced rider, he's a trainer, he's knowledgeable. You know, he went out for a track day the other day and fell off, you know. But yeah, there's loads of people out there who they could bring together and make a really, really good show for us bikers. And you know, it's like the Cobdock Bike Show, or you know, the fun run. You know, they're fun runs every week for charity around the country. You know, we have one here called the Cobdock Fun Run, all in aid of charity, and I went on that start of the summer. Absolutely fantastic. Hundreds of bikers, hundreds and hundreds, and it got in the paper a tiny little mention, just a tiny little mention, and ain't right. So if you had a program on biking and stuff, let's have some people out to these meets. Let's have some people out to different clubs. You know, even clubs like the Nomads. Let's have somebody out there and interview them. See what they're all about. You know. Somebody go to the Kawasaki Club, Owners Club, or the Suzuki Club. Somebody from MAG, you know, protest group, which I'm a member of, by the way. I expect I would like every sort of biker to be in with those. So they do so much for us for 25 quid a week. Brilliant people. But yeah, you know, let's get views. Let's get some politicians on there and see what they've got to say about bikers. Let's get the bloody truth out of them, you know? There's so much could be done, but it's not being done. You're being forgotten about. Put aside. But other things on telly, you know, there's tons and tons and tons of it. So anyway, that's my little rant about TV, I think. I'm going to head back into Itcheries now. Do what I got to do, like the rest of us, you know. I think this is going to be my last vlog for a few days. Apparently the weather is turning bad here tomorrow. It's, as you see, yesterday was nice and sunny. Today is overcast and look, there's no rain. I've even got a pair of winter gloves on. First time I've had them on since April or May. Yeah, I think it was April the last time I wore these. But going back to the program, you know, there's so much. You know, I done a little talk about how I feel about biker gear. They could include that in there. You know, there's some good manufacturers out there and some good retailers, and that would be really good to have somebody talk us through it and show us their wares, and you know, let's get some more normal blokes, you know, and say, hey, let's take them on a track day, see how they get on. You know, give them a free track day. Let's film it. Let's make it fun. You know, get some of the manufacturers to get some of their sort of really lovely bikes out and let guys ride them around the track. You know, give them that dream. You know, it would be good. But no, it's like we don't exist. It's like we're the silent minority in the background. You know, there's other groups of people in this country who are less than us, and they get represented more. They make their presence known more than what we do as bikers. We don't seem to make our presence known. You know, you read these articles in the paper, and if anything goes wrong on the road, it's always a bloody biker. You know, I always remember once, I'm just rambling on here. I always remember once I read about a death of a biker, and this guy in this big Range Rover had pulled out on him and killed this middle-aged bloke with 3 kids. And he went to court and he told his story. He said, I didn't see him, Judge, even though the guy had a light on and everything else and his headlight on. I didn't see him, Judge. And the judge said, I know what it's like, I've done it myself. Never even friggin' banned him from driving. Just walked away with a little fine. A few years back now, but that's true. You know, we are not represented. You know, the BBC, ITV, you know, nothing. The bike show. Man, I fell asleep. It was, you know, make it interesting. Let's get into the community of biking, you know. I think you all know this one point there, the old Worsted Hill. Yeah, let's get into the community of biking. You know, let's show what we, you know, show them that we make loads of money for charity, bloody week after week all over the country. You know. And I'll tell you what, I think they'd have a hit on their hands if they really did turn out a really, really good bike show. Just looking for the burger man, couldn't see it. Get a good old bacon burger there. Absolutely lovely. Anyway, I've got to turn off now. There's the cyclists. Oh, I could have a little talk about cyclists another day, can I? Look at them, look. Cyclists, cyclists, cyclists. They look half dead, don't they? Anyway, everybody, that's my little rant. Suffolk Andy.